Hello everyone, welcome back to Allcarnews, and today we have been driving this 2022 Mazda 3 Turbo Premium Plus sedan for the past week. And finally, after driving for this past week, I'm going to give you guys a full round of impressions that I've been having. Some likes, some dislikes. I'm going to show you all around the vehicle, what's under the hood, and this actually awesome design that Mazda is doing both inside and out. So let's dive right into this 2022 Mazda 3 Turbo. I'll tell you all about it. So everyone, welcome to the 2022 Mazda 3 Turbo with the Premium Plus package. Now, this is the highest trim level you can get in the sedan shape, though you can also get this in a hatchback as well, and you can actually get more options with the hatchback versus the sedan. The sedan's a little bit more reserved in its styling. As you can see, there's black wheels. So we have 18-inch black wheels here. There's not complete blacked out trim, but if you do get the hatchback, everything will be blacked out on the trim-wise. This one's finished in kind of this machine gray exterior paint. There's a lot of different color options, and it has an awesome white interior too, so I really love that. Outside, we have Mazda's Kodo design language. So the whole idea with the Kodo design language is to kind of make you feel like the car is almost in motion even while it's standing still. And I think one of my favorite features is this kind of side body shape Mazda does, where it's really sculpted into the side of the body. There's no hard creases or lines. It's almost like this minimalist, fluidic style motion. I really do love it, and all their vehicles have it. And it gives the cars a really nice, almost premium upper end kind of feeling of look. Also, what I love is what Mazda is doing on their front ends. They have this really nice grille design that's kind of a new signature for them. It is a little bit big, I'm not gonna lie, but I really like this kind of almost samurai sword sculpted like shape they're doing with the grille as well. It's all part of this Kodo design language. Mazda also has been doing some awesome headlights on their newer vehicles recently. Let me just unlock the vehicle so I can show you this really quick. Really nice LED, full LED headlights right here. So we have the nice beam up top when it opens. See how it softly pulses? That's actually a theme of the vehicle. It kind of wants to make it feel alive. So all of the turn signals on this car have this nice pulsing, soft, kind of like dimming feature to them. It's really cool. Mazda's signature kind of headlight design with their hoop right there, half halo, big projector beam that's also steering. And I really like this kind of nice detailing going all the way back in the headlight. Really nice stuff going on there. Like I said before, we were working with 18-inch wheels right here, and they are blacked out on the Turbo models. We have 215, I believe, 215/45 Bridgestone tires all around, since this is all-wheel drive, so we're matching all tires all around. And they're not bad. You might want to upgrade to a little bit more of a performance-y tire if you want to have a little bit more grip, if you want to treat this car this way. But I'm going to get into why this isn't necessarily a sports car, but more of a sporty premium sedan. Come around to the rear on this one, we do have an optional black lip spoiler right here. I think that's like a $400 option. Very tasteful. I think it adds a nice little touch. But the whole idea of this car continues with this subtlety. It is a very subtle vehicle. It's not showy and saying, hey, look, I'm a turbo. And the only way to really notice this is by looking at the tiny little turbo badge right here on the bottom right of the boot. If you want to open the trunk, it is not power, but you can use the key fob, which I do love Mazda's key fob. It's almost like Volvo's key fob, but better. If you've ever seen Volvo's key fob, it's like the same looking thing with the buttons on the side, but Mazda's key fob actually feels more high quality than Volvo's, which is kind of funny. But you can hold this to open it, or you can press the button there or inside. Pops open, and you do have to lift it open yourself. Storage space isn't too bad. I actually do fit in there. But yeah, so I see my tripod in there. See, you can probably fit two of those up next to each other. My backpack, and then there's just like an extra license plate thing. And the seats, I believe, do fold down, both of them. Yeah, you can pull them down with these little levers right here, which is really nice. I do like how Mazda even covered up the goosenecks. And some vehicles in this class is just exposed metal, but they want to make this a little bit more premium, so they did that. And this handle here is surprisingly useful to close the trunk lid. Really easy to do. Let's pop under the hood really quick to show you guys the engine. So this is sporting a 2.5 liter turbocharged inline 4 engine. It's a pretty big displacement for a 4-cylinder engine, but it's producing some pretty nice numbers. So on regular pump gas, which you are able to actually put in this vehicle, you get 227 horsepower on regular pump gas, Skyactiv G Turbo right there, and on premium fuel you get 250 horsepower, but both should produce around 320 pound-feet of torque, which is impressive. You can only get the turbocharged engine with all-wheel drive only in these vehicles. As you can see, it's pretty tightly packed in there. Turbo's back there, and it is in front of the front wheels, so there's gonna be a little bit of a front weight distribution there, but as you can see, this is pretty much all you see under the hood. Pretty tasteful looking interior, a lot of vacuum lines and stuff, but Nothing too crazy under there. Very, very heavy hood, not gonna lie. Pretty heavy to hold, and it's not, it doesn't have struts, so you have to use your the traditional manual way. This one's coming in around $34,000, which is actually not that bad for a fully loaded Mazda 3, and you're getting a lot of stuff with this vehicle. So let's go hop into the interior, and I'll show you guys all around the stuff in there right now. So let's go hop inside. So I don't actually need to use the key fob. It does have keyless access. It's terrible standing in the sun right now, but it does have keyless access, really nice key fob, so I can just keep this in my pocket. And I actually want to highlight the door handles because getting into this every day, they're awesome looking. They just feel really nice, really slim and trim. You can see the button right here to lock and unlock the door, so you just tap it, and then I can just put my hand there. It unlocks really easily like that, and I can just open the door to this absolutely stunning cabin. This is one of the most beautiful spaces that Mazda is doing right now. So let's hop inside and I'll give you a full tour of this absolutely beautiful space. Okay guys, let's hop inside. It really is a joy, honestly, getting in this interior every day because it just feels fantastic. I'm going to turn the vehicle on because it is hot today and we're in direct sunlight. So to do that, obviously, to put your foot on the brake, don't need the key as long as it's in the vehicle, and push to start. And there you have it, Mazda's little chime to turn on the vehicle. And here we are. So this is a really nice space. So up front, we have a digital gauge cluster in the center with 2 analog dials. It's not super configurable, and Mazda did that on purpose. They want you to focus on driving, not looking at a whole bunch of screens, and I 100% appreciate that. You do have this screen, which displays all of your Mazda iActive Safety Sense systems. You can also change this to be a regular speedometer like this if you want. I would just want to touch on the interior quality because this place is beautiful. As you can see, we have the white leather interior. This is the Premium Plus package. So we have perforated leather seats front and back, and those materials carry over to the door panels and onto the dash in this beautiful kind of arch that Mazda does right here. I really love this stuff. And all this premium material carries over to, like I said before, the switch here. So all the buttons feel really nice. It may not be metal, but it looks metal and it feels premium. It doesn't feel loose. It doesn't feel like jiggly. It feels tight and perfectly well done. I love this interior. I like also how they have the climate control separate and it's not buried in the infotainment system. That's really easy to use. We also have heated seats on both sides for the front passengers, as well as a heated steering wheel. No cooled seats. That's not a common thing in this segment unless you're trying to find something in a Hyundai Kia product. They put them in everything these days. Center console is fantastic. I actually love the design of this. It's a perfect layout to kind of use this infotainment system controller right here, which is the only way you can use the infotainment system. It is not touchscreen. This is an 8-inch display up here. Really high resolution, actually. Great contrast. I don't mind that's a little bit small. They could fill out these bezels over here. I'm sure it'll come in an update, but I think it's actually fantastic. We do have our gear selector here. So this is a 6-speed automatic gearbox. Fantastic transmission. Don't knock the 6-speed part. It is super smooth. It's quick when you want it to be. Not super quick like a dual clutch or anything, but it is very smooth and quick with the shifters. And you do have paddle shifters on your steering wheel over here, and you do have a sport mode button, which actually puts this gearbox into a little more of an aggressive setting, which is really nice. Cup holders and a storage cubby over here. And over here, again, like I said, you have your infotainment control system, which is kind of like something you would see on an older Audi or an original BMW iDrive, but I am in love with this system. I don't like touchscreens personally, and I just love that Mazda placed this specifically in this space where it's in your sight of view when you're driving. So if you need to look over and glance at this, you can without kind of fully taking your eyes off the road and like ducking down here to find a touchscreen and try to fit it with the buttons. This is so simple. I'll just show you right now. I just leave my arm rested here, and it's a perfect height for the center armrest. Super well padded too. This is a really nice padded armrest. To open it like this is really nice, and you can just rest your arm there, put your hand here, or put your hand in this. You have 4 quick buttons for home. You have one for back, and this is music and navigation right here. So quick buttons if you need them, but this controller and dial feels super nice, really nice to touch as well. So I love that. And you have a really small dial right here for forward, reverse, and tracks, audio, mute, and turn on the stuff. And you also have a nice favorite button right here, which is really cool. And operating this infotainment system is so simple. This is your main display. If you haven't seen a Mazda infotainment system, and that's it. They made it specifically easy to use while driving too. So I love that they're kind of that focus. It also offers Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integration, and it fills up the display beautifully, which is really nice. I also love this steering wheel. I've been driving a lot of BMWs, so I'm used to this big, chunky, thick steering wheel, but this is just effortless. It honestly really reminds me, if you've ever been in a Porsche steering wheel, it's the perfect thickness of the rim of the steering wheel, and it's just the right amount of buttons on here. So you have your adaptive cruise control stuff right here, and your regular cruise control. You also have your typical stuff in here, hang up, end call information for this, and volume and source and stuff. Simple, and it's right in the line of your thumbs right here, so you can just use it really quickly. And I love the kind of bolstering Mazda is done on here. Really comfortable to hold the steering wheel as well. I like the diameter of it. It's just a fantastic steering wheel, so big plus on this one as well. I love Mazda's turn signals. As you can see, it's kind of fading away. That actually happens on the turn signals outside as well, which is really cool. Really nice stock as well. You have automatic headlights as well, steering responsive headlights, full LED. Over here you have your quick on and off button for your safety system. So if you want them off, quick button, love that. Traction control, driver just do get 2-person memory seating, and you can set them as well. And this is actually a lovely, fantastic feature. So this has 360-degree cameras. Press this button right here to get quick access to them whenever you want. And thankfully, Mazda finally updated their display for the camera. It is really high resolution, as you can finally see. The old Mazda systems were actually terrible, but you do get 360 cameras, and I actually find this fantastic because it is a sedan. It's a little bit lower to the ground. I don't want to scrape anything if I pull into a spot, and it actually can set to come on when you approach something really close. It'll just automatically show up, so you don't even have to press that button, which is fantastic. And you do get reversing cameras as well. Right here, I don't believe it does have trajectory actually, and it can turn with the steering wheel, which is really nice. You can see in the 360 part as well, it also shows up where the wheels are going, which is really, really nice. Great camera systems. Thankfully, Mazda finally updated that. Was a well-needed feature. We also have our Bose premium audio system. So it's a 12-speaker audio system. I believe there's like a tiny little subwoofer in the back, and surprisingly, it is actually pretty good. This is the Premium Plus. You do get automatic dimming side mirrors. You also get an automatic dimming main rear view mirror over there with HomeLink integrated. I love this kind of frameless design on the rear mirror. Makes it really nice and premium looking. You also do get a moonroof up there. Kind of small, but typical for this class. So let's go hop into the rear seats, and I'll show you the lackluster amount of space back there. But before we do that, really quick to point out, only the driver gets a power seat. The passenger does not get a power seat, so that's a little bit of a skimping out feature I think Mazda could include later on in an update. We also don't have power folding mirrors. I think that's something they can also include as well, but there are no other complaints about this interior. It is just purely fantastic. So let's hop into the rear seats now. So this is a compact sedan, but it is one of the smaller compact sedans on the market. If you get into a Civic or a Subaru Impreza, you will 100% have more space. Even though you get all the fantastic materials back here as you get in the front, as I'll show you right now, you don't get the leg room. So this is my actual driving position. I'm 6 foot, 1 inches. And yeah, I can barely fit behind myself. If Mazda didn't have these cutouts right here, it'd be really uncomfortable. And it is pretty uncomfortable just sitting back here. I don't know if I'd want to sit in this for a long drive. I'd probably have to sit on the passenger side if you have a shorter passenger sitting up front. But yeah, you also don't get a pocket back here. Honestly, I think they did that on purpose because I don't think you'd be able to access it if you had someone sitting behind the driver. Thankfully, these are really soft and cushiony back here, so I guess they kind of realized how small this was going to be, but it is tight. Thankfully, we have a lot of headroom, but let me just hop over to this side, see what it's like. Oh. Yeah, it's a small space back here, and the hatchback actually feels worse because you have these gigantic C-pillars on the hatchback. So this one actually has a little bit better visibility than the hatchback, but still not the best. So if you're getting this in and you have kids, I would get for something bigger, unfortunately. But if you're single and you want to carry some friends around every once in a while, this is a fantastic vehicle because it's great for the people up front, but for the back, not so much. This is also a folding down center armrest with some cup holders in here. A really nice feeling plastics. I really like what Mazda's doing with this stuff. This is padded, it really feels nice. Again, the leather materials are fantastic in this car. No heated seats or air vents or anything, but with this rear seat being so small, I don't even know if you really need them. Just pop the window down, and thankfully we have a little side glass here because it's needed to kind of make this cabin a little bit brighter. But I honestly would just sit back here to view the absolutely stunning front interior because this place is gorgeous. Oh, let's just look at that. So let's go hop in for a drive now to show you guys what this is like in a full driving experience because I absolutely love the experience of this vehicle. Awesome. Hop right inside, put our seatbelt on, and let's get started on this Mazda 3 Turbo Drive. Right up to life this thing goes, and We'll do a quick little launch of like 30 miles an hour here. Maybe we'll put it into sport mode. Traction control. I don't know if you can turn the traction control completely off in these Mazdas. Yeah, it's as off as it's going to be. So let's just see what happens. Whoa. Quick launch to 30 miles an hour. Driving this thing, let's pop it back into normal mode for a second. It's such a smooth driving vehicle. It really is beautiful to drive. Very quiet in here, very refined. If there is a little rattling you might hear, it's probably the camera over there. Nothing on the interior I've heard has rattled as of yet. Oh my gosh, there's a deer right there. Let's watch out for that, guys. Yeah, this is a fantastic vehicle to drive though. So let's head out onto the highway so we can open it up a little bit in a second. Let's make sure we're clear over here. Pop it into sport mode to get a little acceleration test over here for you guys. And there is 60. You guys can time that for yourselves, but it pulls hard. There is 320 pound-feet of torque in this vehicle, so you feel the torque definitely for sure the most. It's not the quickest thing on the planet. It's not supposed to be the quickest thing on the planet. And this 6-speed automatic gearbox is fantastic, actually. Driving around town, you don't feel it. And that's the point of a fantastic gearbox. And Mazda is doing some really incredible stuff now. They're really kind of differentiating themselves from the rest of the segment by kind of going to this more premium route. I love the auto hold feature for brakes these days. It's fantastic. But this entire interior, if you're not able to tell, is driver oriented. The screen's angled toward the driver. The entire cabin of this, or the cockpit of the driver, is beautiful. Everything is within reach. Mazda spent a lot of time trying to make sure you have the best experience you possibly can get, and everything is adjustable to get you to that best experience. Oh, that was close. So everything's in thumb's reach. The buttons on the steering wheel are in thumb's reach. Let's just see how it goes right here. Sport mode. The acceleration, like I said, is strong, and it's mostly that torque you feel. It is just a strong amount of torque. And Mazda has this thing they call G-Vectoring Control Plus. This has the plus version of their G-Vectoring control. And you may ask, what is G-Vectoring control? It's a really complex system that Mazda's been working on for over the past few years and refining. This has the latest kind of application of it. And essentially what it does is the system uses your steering inputs, and we'll change the application of the brakes and the torque of the engine to kind of turn you into the corner a bit better. So let's put it in manual mode and see what it does. Drop it down to first gear, second gear. No problem accelerating onto a highway. Make sure we're doing this safely over here. And the upshifts are pretty quick, actually. You'd be surprised how fast the upshifts are, especially in sport mode. In regular mode, they are not as quick at all, which is interesting. But in regular mode, it's very much more comfortable, of course. So now we're on the highway, so you can get a feel of the sound in here. It is honestly pretty quiet, actually. It's a little bit of a rough road. This is suspension now. This is going to be an interesting one. It has 18-inch wheels, so they're not very big. A little bit of like a summer tire on it with the Bridgestone tires. It is a little stiff, actually. I wasn't expecting it to be this stiff. I'm not sure if the hatchback has different, or if there's a different suspension geometry on that, but it is comfortable most of the time. And going over harsh bumps, you feel them, but they're not harsh. It is dampened pretty well, but you do feel them a little bit more. It's probably because of the lower ride height, and you're not in an SUV. I think everyone's so used to driving SUVs these days. But that's just one thing to point out. I'll try to find a rough patch of road to go over to get that in there. But so let's talk about the driving assistance system. So this one has radar cruise control, and you activate it literally simply by pressing this button right here. And I'll push this button down, and it's set. So and it will go up by 1 increment if you push this dial up and down, or if you hold it, it'll go up by increments of 5. And you can adjust your following control right here with this left button on the steering wheel. Really nice stuff. Now, I do have some complaints with this system, unfortunately. It is not the best on the market by far. If you want one of the better radar cruise control, adaptive cruise control systems, you're gonna want to go with Hyundai. And honestly, Subaru's EyeSight system is fantastic, actually. So this may have lane keep warning, and I guess I don't even know if they call it assist on this one, but it doesn't do anything. So if you swerve out of a lane, it's just gonna vibrate that side of the steering wheel to let you know that you're swerving out of that lane. It'll show you in the display and in the heads-up display as well. but it doesn't turn you back into the lane. So I'm just gonna veer out quickly so I can give you an idea of this. Oh, it bumps you in a little bit, but it's gonna play pogo sticks with, like, kind of like ping pong with you. It's gonna bounce you in and out of the lanes. Subaru's system with their eyesight steers. It will steer the vehicle around the turn completely with hands. You're not supposed to take your hands off, but let's say if you did, it will steer the vehicle. And I know this, we have Subarus, I'm very well experienced with these systems. So if you want something that's gonna be more active in that sense, you're gonna wanna go for a competitor system. But if you don't like these systems so much and you want to drive the vehicle, Mazda's is best at being there if you need it, but if you don't want it, it's not there for you, that kind of thing. But it does work when it needs to. If you are veering out of a lane, it will bump you back in, but it's not the most aggressive system on the market. If you want something that's going to be more closer to that hands-free experience, other competitors will offer that to you. Regardless, I do love how they integrate the blind spot monitoring, and it's kind of like a 360-degree blind spot monitoring system, and it shows you both in this display down here as well as the display up in the heads-up display. It'll kind of give you like these warning signs around all four corners of the vehicle, and I think that's fantastic. I really love that as a nice feature. And passing power in this thing is not a problem at all. It is really quick, and that torque is available like that if you need it. We'll just show you that right now. Kicks down with the 6-speed automatic gearbox. Is super quick actually, and look at that, you're already doing over the speed limit. So you got to be careful in this car sometimes. It's fun to use the power well because it works so well. We're just gonna get off on this exit over here, and maybe let's see if we can get that G vector control to work a little bit well. But yeah, the driving experience in these Mazdas are fantastic these days. They really do know how to handle themselves well. This nice sweeping bend over here. Experience that a little bit. Remember, steering responsive headlights here. Wow, that grip is incredible. Yeah, this car, whoa, okay, this does fantastic in the corners, guys. Again, it's not super tight, but that all-wheel drive system, you point it and it will pull you in the direction you need to go in. No doubt about that. And it pulls hard when you need it to as well. And then when you don't want it to, like I said before, simple, pop it back into cruise control and you're set. You don't need to do anything else. So I think that the driving experience is one of the best here, especially if you want that all-around daily kind of driving experience. It's not too stiff, it's not too harsh, but it's also comfortable and has that ability to get you where you need to go a little bit quicker than normal. And the fantastic part is the fuel economy is not bad at all. I've been getting okay fuel economy just because I've been testing it out basically and, you know, driving it a little bit more harder than I guess you would do in a daily setting application. But on average, when I did first get this, I was getting like 26, 27 miles to the gallon on like my daily commute. And that's pretty impressive for a vehicle with up to 250 horsepower, 320 pound-feet of torque, and it's a big engine. It's a 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. It's not a small power plant either. Yeah, so coming off the highway, this thing is just an instant cruiser. It's fantastic. And you may notice the displays are a little dim right now. You can actually brighten those really quickly with this little button right here. Super bright now, and it goes right back to that, so that's really nice. But yeah, it just is this fantastic daily vehicle. And if you are looking for something under $40,000, this comes in around $34,000 as this one is specified, fully loaded for the sedan. Fantastic. Best interior under $40,000, hands down. You're getting all the features you need and nothing you really don't need. It's everything you want in a vehicle. Heated seats, heated steering wheel, you got adaptive headlights, LED lights, it's everything. Navigation, Apple CarPlay, fantastic driving position, fantastic heads-up display. It's just smooth, quiet, comfortable. It is Saturday, so everything is closed, unfortunately. Not gonna grab any pizza today, but just hop outside and have a look at this vehicle really quick. But yeah, locking it up real quick. I'm in love with this thing. Let me know what you guys think about the Mazda 3 Turbo in the comments section below, but I think it's fantastic. Huge thanks to Mazda for letting us have this for the week to test out.